Hello everyone, I am Pardes Elios, and today I am drawing some dog portraits for practice. This is my first time making a video like this, so any advice is welcome in the comments. I am rather shy, but will try to reply even if it is just a thank you for commenting. Now, that's enough rambling, and let's get into the plan for today. I wanted to draw in a variety of ways to see how long each take, how difficult I find each, and how I can improve. I made this list of materials as well as a second of different features, for example fur types, that I also wanted to practice. The first dog is blondish with curly fur, two things that I find more difficult when drawing animals. Because of this, I split the page down the middle. The left side will be drawn in colour pencils and the right in graphite. I decided to draw the coloured side in first. I started the drawing by filling in the eye and the nose, which I normally do when drawing animals. The fur on the face is fairly straight and simple to draw, and I only had trouble with getting the colour right, which I achieved by using a range of browns, pinks, oranges and greys, and a really gentle yellow. I had to be mindful and layer slowly, and despite feeling impatient, I stuck to it for the time being. However, my patience soon ran out as I started to draw the cows. In the beginning it was fine as I could draw the shape of them, but the difficulty rose when filling in and rendering them. I've kept colouring them, rubbing them out to lighten them as I didn't get the definition I desired, only to colour and rub them out again. Eventually I just used black to draw around the curls to define them. It looks fine overall, but some areas, especially on the ear, looks flat. The fur on the body has a tighter curl pattern reminiscent of a sheep, and so instead of long curved sections I drew small circular shapes. The graphite half of the drawing was immediately a lot easier. The lack of colour allowed me to focus on the shape and value of the picture. Graphite as a material is also a lot more forgiving and workable than colour pencils, and is easily blended and erased. When drawing the fur, I drew the basic shapes along with simple shadows, blended it and then erased sections to bring them forward and add texture. I then went back in with a softer pencil to darken the areas in between. The graphite side was also faster, taking 2.3 hours in comparison to the colour pencil side, which took 3.6. On to the second drawing, still coloured pencil, but now on toned paper, which should work for this corgi reference as it has warm undertones. I didn't want all the drawings in this video to have the exact same pose, so I chose this one as it's a side profile in contrast to the front facing, and its mouth is wide open, allowing me to draw its tongue and teeth. I feel like in my attempt to add highlights to the mouth, I washed out the colour a little in my haste to burnish highlights over the pink instead of slowly building up the shadows. The fur on this dog is longer and straight, so I had to focus on what direction the lines were going in and how they wrap around the form of the dog, as I couldn't rely on different textures to break up the shape. I find toned paper good for drawing white fur and rim lighting, as lighter pencils show up clearly on it. For the white fur I drew some lines in dark grey and added a layer of white pencil in between them. When adding white fur I don't spend much time layering to make sure the marks stay clear. If I was to draw this again I would do it on more neutral toned paper, as I feel that the warmth of it merges with the back of the dog. For the third drawing I used indenting tools. I'm not used to using them, but have tried them out once before. If you are unsure of how they work, they basically are used to press into the paper leaving an indent, so when you go over it with a pencil, that area stays white as the graphite can't get into the gap. They can be tricky to work with as you can't really see the marks until you go over them, so it's best to work in sections so you don't forget where you have and haven't marked the paper. I found that going over in a softer pencil was more efficient for the darker areas, and the marks looked the most like fur when pulling it towards myself when creating the marks, pressing down in the beginning and lessening the pressure at the end of the stroke. I blended graphite for the background, but that ultimately made me lose the pug slightly as it was too close in value. Congratulations, you have made it to the final drawing. I decided to use charcoal as it can go a lot darker than graphite and is nowhere near as shiny, as I will learn from this drawing. I started by filling in the background and blocking in the spots. I used a blending stump that already had charcoal on it to add some shadows to the fur to bring out the form a little bit. I used both charcoal sticks and pencils for the dark fur. I found it easy to blend and perfect for creating contrast in the drawing. I thought about just smudging charcoal over the white areas and erasing lines to create the fur, but realised that if I just used a mechanical pencil, I could achieve a better result as it was lighter and smoother than the charcoal pencil. I did use that method of erasing for highlights in the eyes, nose and tongue, however. If you look at the back of the dog at the end, I used a graphite pencil instead of a charcoal one by mistake, making those marks clearly visible in the light. This is because, as I said earlier, graphite is a lot more shiny than charcoal. And with that, we have completed the list. There are some points that I could have done better, however I'll save them for another video. Now let's look at the finished results. Now it's your turn. Draw a dog. It can be a full drawing or a doodle. In my next video I will be practicing watercolours, so subscribe if you want to see it, but for now I'll have to say goodbye. Thank you for watching.